Let's rewind to December 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home had just hit theaters and instantly became a global event. For the first time ever, audiences witnessed the ultimate superhero fantasy come true. 3 generations of Spider-Men sharing the screen, teaming up against some of the most iconic villains in comic book history. By the end of the final battle, Tom Holland's Spider-Man says goodbye to Ned and MJ, and stands quietly as Doctor Strange finishes the spell that wipes the entire world's memory of Peter Parker. The villains, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, and Lizard, are all sent back to their universes. But in this alternate timeline, 2 crucial people don't disappear. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, 2 Spider-Men from 2 different realities, suddenly stuck inside the MCU. Most fans accepted the movie's ending as perfect closure, but today, we're flipping the script. What if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield never made it back home after the events of No Way Home? How would the MCU change? What would happen to them emotionally? And what would the future of New York look like with 3 simultaneous Spider-Men? Let's dive in. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Silver Screen Hero for more Marvel and DC deep dives, rewrites, and what-if scenarios. Strange's spell erupts across New York City. The sky closes, reality stabilizes. Tom's Peter takes a moment to breathe. He steps down from the rooftop, preparing to return to the tiny, lonely life he now has to rebuild. But then, he freezes. Tobey and Andrew are still standing exactly where he left them. No glitching, no fading, no purple magic dragging them back home. The villains were anomalies, mistakes ripped from their timelines. But the other Spider-Men? They aren't anomalies at all. They are fully developed, fully established variants of Spider-Man with stable universes behind them. And because of that, the spell simply ignores them. Tom approaches cautiously, Andrew spirals first, because emotionally, he always spirals first. He's confused, rattled, overwhelmed, and immediately blaming himself for something he doesn't even understand yet. Tom tries to calm him down, but he's just as lost. Then Tobey steps forward, older, wiser, calmer. His voice grounds the room. It's okay, we're going to figure this out. Once the panic settles, reality hits them hard. No homes, no identities, no money, and no one in this world remembers the name Peter Parker. All 3 Spider-Men are trapped in a universe where they exist as ghosts, beloved as heroes, but unknown as humans. And because Strange's spell takes time to settle, there's no instant correction for this glitch. They might be stuck here forever. New York City wakes up to something it never expected. 3 Spider-Men swinging across the skyline. The media loses its mind. Social media explodes. And somewhere, J. Jonah Jameson is screaming about a Spider-Man conspiracy. Crime drops almost overnight. Criminals panic. The city feels safer than ever. But inside the masks, things are far less triumphant. Tom Holland's Peter is shattered. He's lost Aunt May. He's lost MJ. He's lost Ned. Happy doesn't know him. Even the Avengers have no idea who he is. He's a hero with no home, emotionally or literally. Seeing this, Tobey and Andrew step in almost instinctively. They become his mentors, his roommates, and eventually, his brothers. Together, the 3 of them form the most efficient crime-fighting team New York has ever seen. Perfectly coordinated web attacks, synchronized spidey senses, and aerial moves that feel like second nature. But then reality hits again. They're broke. Peter Parkers are always broke. With no IDs, no legal identities, and no support systems, they do the only thing Peter Parkers can do. They take whatever jobs they can find. Tom works at Joe's Pizza, delivering pies for minimum wage. Andrew picks up photography gigs, trying to rebuild the passion he once lost. Tobey becomes a science teacher, blending right into a New York school. They aren't thriving, they're surviving. And while they swing through the city every night, both Tobey and Andrew feel a growing ache in their chests. If we're here, what's happening to our universes without us? Not in reality, but in their hearts. Tobey left behind Mary Jane and possibly a daughter. Andrew left behind Gwen's memory, Aunt May, and a New York that still needed him. Neither of them got closure. Neither had time to say goodbye. They were ripped away from their lives mid-stride. Tobey's pain is quiet, subtle. The ache of a man who finally rebuilt his life, only to lose it again. Andrew's pain is sharp, immediate. He wasn't in a good place when the spell pulled him in. He had become someone he didn't recognize, someone violent, angry, and broken. Meanwhile, Tom is drowning in guilt. He believes that his desire for anonymity not only erased his own life, but cost Tobey and Andrew their futures. They patrol at night, they cry alone during the day, and eventually, the emotional pressure becomes too much. They decide they need answers from Dr. Strange. The trio arrives at the New York sanctum. Strange doesn't recognize them because he can't. The spell erased Peter Parker from his memory. Tom tries to jog his memory by recounting the battle with Thanos, Ebony Maw, and the events of No Way Home. Strange can recall the events, but not Peter. Still, he lets them inside. Tobey and Andrew speak first, asking the only question on their mind. Can you send us home? That's when Strange delivers the news that shatters them. The No Way Home spell didn't fully stabilize. The multiverse is still rippling. Incursions have already begun. Sending the villains home was simple. Their stories ended. But sending Tobey and Andrew home would be catastrophic. Their timelines are active. Their universes are still moving forward. Forcing them back now could cause a multiversal collapse. Strange's verdict? They could not return. Not yet. Not safely. Andrew breaks. Tobey goes silent. Tom feels every ounce of guilt crush him. But Strange offers a sliver of hope. If the three Spider-Men can help stabilize the multiverse from inside the MCU, it may become possible to send them home without destroying everything else. And just like that, a new mission begins. With a shared purpose, the trio becomes an unstoppable force. Street-level crime? Gone overnight. Kingpin's rise? Stopped before it can begin. Echo, Daredevil, the Ten Rings, the Tracksuit Mafia. Every criminal organization in New York feels the pressure of three Spider-Men dismantling their operations simultaneously. Even Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, takes notice. He doesn't know Peter Parker, but he knows Spider-Man. Seeing three of them work together reassures him that New York is in the safest hands possible. But despite the success, something still feels wrong. One night, the trio sits atop the Empire State Building. The wind is quiet, the city is calm. Tobey and Andrew look over at Tom and immediately sense he's holding something in. When they press him, Tom finally breaks. He tells them everything. How he thinks he ruined their lives, how he believes they're stuck here because of him, how he can handle losing everyone he loves, but not the idea of destroying their futures too. Andrew breaks first. He hugs Tom, crying as he opens up about Gwen, about her father's dying wish, about his broken promise, about the night she slipped through his fingers. Tobey joins them, laying a hand on Andrew's shoulder. He reminds them that every Peter Parker carries a burden, but none of them carry it alone. For the first time since the spell, all three Spider-Men allow themselves to feel everything, and together, they begin to heal. Months pass. Strange continues studying the anomaly that trapped Tobey and Andrew in the MCU. Finally, he figures it out. The spell didn't break. It overloaded. Too many multiversal entities crossed at once. The villains went home cleanly, but the Spider-Men? They had to become a unified multiversal identity. A triad of Spider-Man bound by shared trauma, shared purpose, and shared experience. To send them home, Strange needs closure. Tobey must say goodbye to the young Spider-Man he guided. Andrew must accept his redemption after saving MJ. Tom must release the guilt holding them all together. At the New York sanctum, all three Spider-Men talk it out one final time. They cry, they laugh, they thank each other. Only then does Strange open the portal. With a final nod and one last group hug, Tobey and Andrew return to their respective universes, finally at peace. And that's our story. What do you think would happen if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield never left the MCU? Would the MCU be better? Worse? Completely transformed? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Silver Screen Hero for more Marvel and DC breakdowns, rewrites, and deep dive analyses.